The New York Knicks are back in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year. And that sentence alone still sounds crazy when you remember what this franchise used to be. For years, the Knicks were a team that everybody joked about. They had the city, they had the garden, they had the fan base, but they didn't have the direction. And then came Jalen Brunson, a 6'2 guard that people once called overpaid, a player many saw just as Luka Dončić's running mate, and now he's the face of the Knicks, the captain of the team, and arguably one of the greatest free agent signings we've seen in the last decade. So today, I want to talk about Jalen Brunson, how he went from being one of the most questioned signings in recent memory to arguably one of the greatest free agent signings we've seen in this last decade. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. And just saying that the New York Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year is just crazy. And I don't think people realize how crazy really that is. Because we're talking about the New York Knicks. We're talking about a team that for most of the last 2 decades now has really been one of the laughing stocks in the NBA. That's not even me trying to hate. That's just reality. This is Madison Square Garden. This is New York basketball. This is one of the biggest markets in all of sports, but for years the product on the court did not match the brand. Now of course they had some moments. They had Carmelo Anthony, who came through, gave the Knicks some real excitement, that won 50 plus wins. They made the playoffs a few times, and Melo gave the Knicks something to believe in again. But even with Melo, they never really built the right roster around him to consistently make deep playoff runs, and they just made decisions along that way that were just, questionable. And really, when you look back at the Knicks' history, their true deep playoff success was well before many of us were even watching basketball, let alone just alive. They won their championships back in the 70s. Then you had Patrick Ewing era, where the Knicks were a real power in the East. They made it to the finals in 94, and then they made that crazy Cinderella run in 99, and was an 8th seed, where they had made it all the way to the finals that year. But after that, man, it was a lot of disappointment for years. The Knicks were more of a dysfunction than winning. James Dolan was constantly criticized. That front office made decisions that were questioned, and free agents weren't really choosing the Knicks like that. The fan base was still loyal, the city was still behind them, the arena was still legendary, but the team itself was not serious. And that's why what we're seeing now matters, because once Leon Rose came in and the Knicks were starting to build an actual patience and structure, the whole direction of the organization changed. They didn't just randomly chase names, they started building a real identity. Toughness, defense, physicality, shot making, guys who fit together, guys who actually make sense next to each other. But the next move changed everything. Jalen Brunson. And I'm going to say it right now, the Jalen Brunson signing might not just be the best signing for the Knicks in the last decade. It might be one of the best free agency signings in modern NBA history. Because when the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson in 2022, a lot of people were not looking at him like, oh yeah, the Knicks got their franchise player. No, a lot of people looked at that 4-year, $104 million deal like, that's a lot of money for Jalen Brunson. People respected him, but they didn't see him as this. They saw him as really a secondary option next to Luka. A good guard, a winning player, a tough player, but not necessarily a guy who could walk into New York and just completely change the franchise. Now, to be fair, we did see a glimpse of what he could become while he was in Dallas. In that 2022 playoff run, when Luka was hurt, Brunson stepped up. He had a 41-point game against Utah, and he showed people that he wasn't just some nice role player. He showed that he could carry an offense in a playoff environment. But even then, nobody really saw this coming. Honestly, that has to sting for Dallas even now, because they had him, they developed him, saw him perform in the playoffs, and New York was that team that said, nah, we believe in this guy and we believe he can do more. And they were right. Brunson got to New York. This was still looked at as Julius Randle's team at the time. And I want to give credit to Randle too, because Julius Randle helped bring some respectability back to the Knicks before Jalen Brunson got there. You had Randle, you had RJ Barrett, you had Mitchell Robinson, you had some solid role players. The Knicks had already started to become a playoff team again, but they were still missing that one player who could really just settle everything. They needed a true point guard. They needed a closer. They needed somebody who can organize the offense late in games. They needed somebody who could walk into Madison Square Garden with all that pressure and not fold. And that guy was Jalen Brunson. And that's the part people miss. The Knicks didn't just pay for a point guard. They paid for stability. They paid for leadership. They paid for playoff shot making. They played for somebody who could give the whole franchise direction, because Brunson doesn't even do it in the flashiest way. He's not the tallest guard. He's not the most athletic guard. He's not jumping out of the gym every night, but he controls the game. His footwork is elite. His pace is elite. His balance is elite. He knows how to get defenders leaning. He uses his body. He uses angles. He gets to the mid-range. He gets into the paint. And when the game slows down, he doesn't even look scared of the moment. That's superstar stuff. And since he's been in New York, he has done nothing but elevate this franchise. Where it's not just talking about empty numbers either. This man has become an all-star. He's become an all-NBA player. He became the captain of the Knicks. He won NBA Cup MVP when the Knicks won the Emirates NBA Cup. And now he has the Knicks in back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. That is legacy building. Makes it even crazier is that Brunson didn't just help the Knicks on the court. He helped them off the court too. I'm sure many remember when he signed that extension, he left over $100 million on the table. Reportedly $113 million less guaranteed than he could have waited for. So the Knicks could go out and have more flexibility to keep building a championship roster around him. That matters, because that tells you he's not just talented, he's a leader. He understands the bigger picture. He wants to win in New York, and he was willing to sacrifice to help make that possible. Look at the team around them. They got OG Anunoby. They got Mikal Bridges. They go get Karl-Anthony Towns. They keep building with players who fit the identity. Toughness, defense, versatility, shot making, playoff experience. But at the center of it all, it's still Jalen Brunson. He's the engine. Now, I do want to be fair. Brunson did not do it by himself. Leon Rose deserves credit. The front office deserves credit. The coaching staff deserves credit. Julius Randle deserves credit for helping bring the Knicks out of the basement before Brunson even got there. Guys like OG, Mikal, Cat, Josh Hart, who is a fan favorite, Mitchell Robinson, all these players matter. But every great team still needs that one player who gives them the direction that they need. And for New York, that's Brunson. And now, after sweeping the Philadelphia 76ers, the Knicks don't look just like some cute little underdog story anymore. They look serious. They look like a team that can actually come out of the East. And I'm not saying that the job is finished, because it's not. They still have to prove it even in the conference finals. But what I'm saying is this. The Knicks are no longer just happy to be here. They are a real contender. And Jalen Brunson is the biggest reason why. So when we talk about the greatest free agency signings of the last decade, Brunson's name has to be in that conversation. Because this was not just a good signing. This was not just a value signing. This was a franchise-changing signing. Before Brunson, the Knicks were searching for even more identity, and when they got him, they created an even bigger one. He made the Knicks tougher. He made them more calm. He made them more dangerous in late games. He made Madison Square Garden feel like a playoff nightmare again. And whether the Knicks win the championship this year or not, Jalen Brunson has already done something special. He made Knicks basketball matter again. He made the Knicks serious again, and for a franchise that spent years being treated like a joke, that might be one of the greatest values of the entire signing. So yeah, man, Jalen Brunson deserves your respect for real. Because what started as a deal people question has turned into one of the best free agency signings we've seen in a long time. And if the Knicks mess around and make the finals, that conversation is going to get even louder. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today, man. It was definitely a different type of video, more of a hype video for Brunson, because, man, look, the guy deserves all the recognition for what he's done for this New York Knicks team, because, you know, for the longest time, as we all know, the Knicks were not this good, and it was a shocker, I'm still sure, for many to see how good this team really is. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Much love. Peace.